Have you seen the Brilliant Stars thumbnails today? Yes, so have I. In fact, I was specifically waiting for this moment because I figured it was going to be the perfect segue into talking about this topic. You know, other sides of YouTube, they'll talk about what's happening in that sphere, that realm, that area of the hobby, no matter what it is. Other YouTubers will talk about things that are happening and events, but for some reason with Pokemon card YouTube, it just doesn't really seem to happen. So I do think whinging is cringing, but rather I wanted to start a little bit of dialogue with you guys today because I do enjoy engaging with you all. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm okJLUV. Some have called me a gamer, some have called me a weeb, others have called me a simp, but most call me a Japanese Pokemon enthusiast. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much. We are so close to 100,000. I know we're gonna get there very, very soon. You guys make this whole thing happen, so you do mean the world to me. Okay, so I've been tossing and turning on this topic for a couple of months. It's either gonna be a hot take or a cold take. If it's a disaster, I'm gonna unlist the video, I'll post an apology, we'll sweep this whole thing under the rug and we'll move on and forget about it. So I'm just gonna come out and cut to the chase. And yeah, this one's bad for brand, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Basically, I think English and Japanese Pokemon cards are losing steam. Across the board, Pokemon cards are just less interesting to the audience right now. And I say that for my own personal reasons, but also because you guys straight up are telling me. You know, I live stream over at twitch.tv/okJLUV and I chat to you guys there. By the way, link in the description to the okJLUV VODs channel. Check it out. My Legends Arceus playthrough is up there. Also, while you're at it, check out okJLUV clips. I just launched that one. But basically, you guys are always telling me what you're up to. You're telling me whether you're interested in sets or whether you're passing on them and your buying habits and how they've changed. You know, I find it kind of weird if I just come here and I just make YouTube videos and I just splat them at you and I just go watch, consume, and I don't actually talk to you because without you, I don't have a channel. So again, thank you very much for watching these videos and leaving a comment. But the point I'm trying to make is you guys are telling me that you're less interested. I put a couple of questions out here on YouTube. You might have seen my sneaky polls, which have very rigid black and white answers. There's no in between. It's either one or the other. You're in or you're out. The first one I put up, I said, are you buying more Pokemon cards or less compared to last year? My answer will shock you. 62% of you said way less. That's 3 out of 5 people said compared to 2021, they're buying way, way less. The comments are really interesting. My FOMO was so bad last year when I started collecting, but since I've gotten over that, I've been able to direct my money more wisely into the hobby. So Rare's gone a little bit smarter, and I think most people learned a lot from last year, and they're changing the way that they collect. Roger Parody made a very, very good point here. This is a guy that used to build master sets, but by the end of the year, Pokemon broke us with the last 3 sets being so big. So because of the bloat, this is a person that used to build master sets and collect everything, which is amazing for English sets because they are so huge. They've now made the decision that said, you know what? My plan is to buy it way less. And something I saw across the board with the comments you guys left was that people were buying more singles but less boxes, which is a much more affordable and I guess smarter way to collect, especially considering how big the sets are. So the next question I asked was, are you still opening boxes for chase cards or just buying them as singles? And 40% out of 1,000 people said singles life, baby. That's 2 out of 5. Granted, I did screw up this poll by putting a third option, a little bit of both, but 20% said they're opening boxes for chase cards. So only 1 out of 5 people that responded to this poll said that they're buying, actually no, that's the wrong math. The point I'm trying to make is 2 out of 5 said singles only. And that was quite common along all the comments that I got here. A lot of the sentiment surrounded affordability. So you guys were saying that it's just too hard to keep up basically with the amount of sets and collecting and going after chase cards. So people were diversifying or sort of changing their collecting habits to singles. But it was Michael Hartline who made an extremely interesting point. And don't worry, Michael, your confusing username can't stop me because I can't read. Michael said we all want to open packs, but because of the pull rates going off of Evolving Skies, it just doesn't make sense to buy packs. And they presented 2 options here. The value proposition between buying a Japanese booster box, which always guarantees a secret rare, sometimes 2, for 50 USD, retail price, or you spend 40 to 50 for an English ETB at retail price and there's no guarantee. They said it shows a clear disrespect. Disrespect is a very powerful word between how TPC views their 2 audiences. And I gotta say, I agree, Michael. I know the ETBs come with some more stuff, you get the sleeves, etc. But we're talking about value proposition here. For $50, you know what you're gonna get, or there's some kind of reassurance that, you know, shoot for the sky, land on the clouds. But with English stuff, gamble. So going off all of that, I then said, okay, are you guys gonna buy Brilliant Stars or not? And 62% said yes. So 3 out of 5 people, 38% said that it's too bloated. I put the same question to Instagram and it was 55% to 45%. You guys were basically split down the middle, which I thought was really interesting because Brilliant Stars, as bloated as it is, and I am going to talk about the bloat, it's a pretty cool set. The art is some of the best ever. Character rares are back. We've got CSRs. It's a really good time to be a collector. We're absolutely eating, but even with the pull of the star power of those kind of sets, it's just not enough to really draw everyone in. So I think this next month is going to be very interesting. I'm going to observe people's reception to Brilliant Stars, but it's why I wanted to make this video, to see what you had to say about it, to see whether you were going to open it up or not. Because a lot of people said, I'm all in, baby. A lot of other people said, yeah, no, because it's bloated and it has yellow borders. And trust me, I don't like the yellow borders either. Daniel says, I don't think I'll open much other than the odd booster pack. I'd rather buy VMAX Climax or Starbirth. Now, Daniel, don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think what you're saying ties back to what Michael was saying before, which is that with those products and those sets, you kind of have an understanding and an expectation of what you're going to get. So it feels a little bit more comfortable. You don't feel like you're wasting your time or your money. But with English and international sets, totally different. You know, the fundamentals of hit rates for those sets, international and English sets, hasn't changed. It is what it is. It's been the same for the last 5, 6, 7, whatever years. But everything else around that, and even inside of it, has changed. You know, there's more super rares than ever before. And a couple of you guys were mentioning bloat. And I agree, there's just too much bloat with these sets. If they're going to increase the amount of super rares, the hit rates have to get better, but the hit rates haven't. On top of that, there's a lot of influence, external influence, right? If I had sort of talked about this at the start of 2021, it would have made a lot of sense, because at the start of 2021, there's a lot of interest, but the sets are planned out. They're mapped out in advance. So whether there was going to be a huge amount of interest or not, no one really knew. TPCI, they don't really know. So their sets were planned out the way they were. Now that we're in 2022 and we know there's a huge amount of interest, there's a lot of collectors coming to collect, primarily to collect, not play. You would have thought that they would have changed things a little bit and made it a little bit more appetizing and palatable for collectors. Instead, I think, and this is not going to be good for the okJLUV brand, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I think it's a little bit predatory, because everything else has changed, but the hit rates and the return for the customer just hasn't. Now, is that entitlement? I don't really think so, because you're asking your customers to keep buying your product, or almost knowing that they're going to keep buying your product because they're excited about it, but you haven't really improved it or made it better for them. So a lot of them are just stopping collecting altogether. And that's, I think, why I saw a lot of the responses that I did. And that's why I kind of find it weird that when a new set comes out, people instantly bat chest over it like it's the greatest thing ever. Now I think people are taking a step back. You guys are smart. You're not stupid. And you're recognizing that the value just isn't there, and so you're opening less. So Brilliant Stars, which is the set that everybody's going to be talking about for the next month, does look amazing. And I said this many, many times. These are some of the best cards we've ever seen, but the interest is waning. People aren't as interested. And I think a lot of that has got to do with the bloat and feeling like you're just not getting enough in return. I don't think that that is entitlement. There's just so many super rares. There's no set identity, and you feel like you're kind of wasting your time when you buy a box. You're better off just buying the singles. Now, the easy counterpoint that I will hear all the time to this is just play the trading card game. Stop worrying about collecting and play the game for what it is. But the same point applies to the game side of things as well, because there's a lot of V and VMAX cards. In fact, there's a lot of redundant V and VMAX cards. If you look at Fusion Strike, Mew V and VMAX, that deck dominated, still is. And that was the chase card for players from that set. But you couldn't find it because there were so many other redundant V and VMAX cards in that set. And so what it did was it drove the price of the single up and actually gatekeeps people from playing the game. Okay, I know you can just play another deck, but when there's one deck that's dominating, well, it's kind of a little bit weird and makes it harder. So it's counterintuitive to bringing in new players, because the best cards or the most powerful cards, you need 2 to 4 of them per deck. It becomes unattainable if you're on a budget. This is where Pokemon cards are a little different to other hobbies. You know, if you buy an anime figure, you don't like it anymore, you sell it. Yeah, it's secondhand goods and drops in value, but when you buy the anime figure, you get the anime figure. When you open up Pokemon cards and any hobby trading card, and this is why they have value, basically, but when you buy them, if you don't get anything good, you're out of luck. And I think with so much enthusiasm, so many people are excited about Pokemon cards at the moment, so many people buying them, I feel like they should be getting a little bit more. Fusion Strike kind of did a lot of people dirty, and yeah, that's why I kind of stayed away from it. I just bought the singles I needed for a deck and I moved on from it. I opened one box. I had a bit of fun with it. But Brilliant Stars, there's like, what, 30 character rares and CSRs and full arts from VMAX Climax and gold cards. And then you've got 34 other super rares. Like, there's a lot of super rares to be found in this set on top of the V and the VMAX cards. So unless you're hitting the heavy hitters, you're going to feel a little bit hard done by. And I don't think that is entitlement. There's just little incentive to keep opening boxes. So consider this discussion market research. I just wanted to talk about it because at the end of the day, I'm just going to do whatever I want. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to open up a box of Brilliant Stars. I'll open up a couple of ETBs. I'll have my fun with it. I will engage within my means. But yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys are going to do, especially with the next set coming out, which is supposed to have Hisuian Pokemon in it from Legends Arceus. Now that is going to be very, very exciting. But you know, if things are losing steam now and people are less interested now, that gap is quite large. I'm curious to see if there will be as big a fanfare as there should be when that set drops. Alas, I'm just one little man on a smaller YouTube channel. My impact, it won't mean much, but your buying habits might. So I'm very curious. Let me know what you are planning to do with Brilliant Stars. Until next time, like, subscribe, twitch.tv/okJLUV. All the VODs are in the VOD channel, link below the like button, and check out okJLUV clips. Until then, I'm going to Twitch, twitch.tv/okJLUV. Come to Twitch. Come on. We're going to Twitch. See you there. Bye.